Happy Sunday, Queenagers. Here I am in Mexico doing an Instagram Live, and I wanted to make sure that I answered your fitness challenges. I asked you guys in stories, what's your biggest fitness challenge? And it's so amazing. I think I asked this maybe, 9 months ago. The answers were pretty much the same. So at the top of the list was food, then consistency, then getting started, motivation, and time. And then some of the fitness challenges that people reported were things like getting rid of body fat, getting rid of the menopause belly. But what I really wanted to talk about were those bigger issues: food, consistency, motivation, getting started, and time. And if you're just coming on, welcome, welcome. So happy to see you. So those challenges: food, consistency, motivation, time, and what was the other one? Getting started. You know what underlies all of those challenges is mindset. It's mindset. So you can take one little challenge at a time and try and tackle it, or you can re-engineer your mindset. And how do you do that? I know that people aren't really clear about that, but one of the things in my journey to get fit was switching from wanting to lose weight to being healthy. Forget about losing weight, right? Because it goes like this. You know, we gain weight, then we lose it. Then it comes back and it's even more. Why not, as a queenager, approach it like this? So your weight's up here, and over time, maybe a couple of years, it kind of bounces, but the trend is going down. So I want to tell you about my cousin. She's 70 years old, and she lives here in Mexico. I'm visiting her, and we've been close most of our lives, all of our life, actually. She's older than me. But we started talking about 2.5 years ago. She's always been around 230 pounds. She's a big girl. She's got big bones, red hair, freckles. She's really beautiful, has a great personality. And I inspired her to change small habits day by day. She didn't count macros. I didn't give her a training program. She just, something just switched in her, and she thought, I'd like to lose 50 pounds. And I want you to know that it took 2 years, but she lost 50 pounds. How? Consistency and working out, not every day, getting in some cardio. And the thing she told me was like, she said it was so easy. I can't believe how easy it was, because she just looked up one day and it was like, oh my God, I've hit 180. I haven't been 180 since I was in college. And this is the way to approach it. It's, and a lot of times we approach it with, I hate my body. I'm so disgusted with the way I look. I just want to feel better and look better. So we rush out to join a weight loss program that is very controlling, very depriving, very restrictive, and we punish ourselves instead of taking our time, loving our bodies. So the consistency is super important. You need to do it day in and day out, not an hour workout, not anything. If you don't want to be a bodybuilder, your approach can be completely different. You've got to live your life. And as far as food goes, if you discipline yourself and give yourself nutritious food day in and day out for months and months and months, then when that holiday party comes or that special occasion or you're on vacation, eat, enjoy it. Don't worry about it. Your body has been in a calorie deficit, hopefully a little bit. And then when you do what's called a refeed, your metabolism's like, oh, let's fire it up. She's giving us more food. So that's why when you come back from vacation, maybe you didn't gain weight because, number one, you were walking a lot, but also You ate moderately, but you ate what you wanted. You enjoyed yourself. So I always tell my clients, if you're going to go on vacation, enjoy yourself. Don't take your food scale. Don't try and find a gym. Just enjoy yourself because it's out of your routine. But be the smart queenager that I know you are and make the right choices. Be moderate. Look at portions. Don't stuff yourself. You know, so this holiday, I'll just tell you guys, I really enjoyed myself. So I had an art opening and I stayed in a B&B that had chocolates on the table every day. And I popped one of those babies in my mouth every night. Plus, I was in an Airbnb. It wasn't close to a restaurant or anything, so I just kind of had to make do. And I did. I ate what I could get. I went out to a nice restaurant. I ordered what looked good. And also during Thanksgiving, the same thing. So the other day, was walking downtown. I was really hungry, and a fruit tart looked really good in this French bakery here in Mexico. So I took one and took it home, and it was delicious. If I put on weight when I go home, I get on the scale, I'm like, ooh, I'm up 3 pounds or whatever. I am so confident about how to lose those pounds. It doesn't scare me. It doesn't bother me. So you have to get control over food. You need to control the food. But first, you need to get your body primed so that it can burn the food efficiently. Your metabolism begins to work, and you really begin to heal yourself in terms of your relationship with food. That's the mindset. So I've often said we punished ourselves with food. So we overeat one day and then we say, okay, I'm going to fast tomorrow. I'm not going to eat anything. That's weaponizing food. Food is nourishment. It's fuel. And there is really no good or bad food. It's just, how do you react to it? How does it make you feel? You know, there's something about eating a really healthy meal that there's just a sense of well-being. And if you can begin to create that pattern when you eat and enjoy how your body feels after you feed it, that will become a consistent habit. So it's day by day by day. Focus on what you can do today. But food is definitely a challenge and definitely a key to losing fat and building muscle. It's so important. And when you're a bodybuilder, the macros work around what you eat when and how much to fuel your workouts. If you're just trying to lean out, be healthy, lose fat, get some muscles, some pretty muscles to give you that sculpted look, you know, paying attention to macros is important. You want to prioritize protein. You want to eat complex carbs, ladies, queenagers. Carbs are not bad. Your muscles want those carbs. Your brain wants those carbs. And healthy fat also is an important component. Not too much. So I had a question from one woman who said that she was very overweight and she's pretty sedentary, so she's not exercising. And what should she do about her macros? And, you know, don't do macros right now. Start eating healthy, prioritizing protein. If you're not working out and you're not working your muscles, there's no reason to get all sort of, you know, micromanaging macros. It's not going to help you. Plus, you might get frustrated. But when you have a goal like a bodybuilding show, you really get tight on tracking those macros and you feed your body. Also, I just want to say really quick, my vision sucks and I can't read the chat. So if you guys are putting comments in there, I can't read them. I'm really sorry about that, but you could always send me a message if you had a question that I didn't answer. So under food, motivation, consistency, and time is mindset. If you don't fix your mindset or you don't put your mindset in a frame that you intend to win and you intend to get on top of the state of your health, if you don't change your mindset, nothing's going to change. Your thoughts are powerful. How you feel about yourself is powerful. You're a broadcasting tower of energy. And whatever you put out, people feel. You know, I had one person write me and say, her biggest challenge is her fear of failure. She's afraid to try. What an awful thing to walk around and feel. So that needs to change. You need to believe that you are this powerful, amazing human. And if you are a female 50 plus, ladies, queenagers, you are in your power decade. You're in your power decade. You've never been smarter. You've never been more experienced. You've never been so fed up with the BS in life. It's like you are a wise woman. So what you project out into the world will come back to you. How you feel about yourself will attract certain things to you. So you've got to love yourself. You've got to realize the power you have. And we let so many outer things, influence us. I know, because I was an emotional eater when I was younger. You know, I binge ate. I didn't have, more formal eating disorders like bulimia or anorexia, but it was an eating disorder because whenever I didn't want to deal with my feelings, I'd stuff food in my mouth. It was like stuffing feelings down that I didn't want to come out. Why? Because I was afraid of them. I was taught that they had no value. And I was taught that you won't be validated. So rather than be rejected, I held feelings in, and that's really unhealthy. So a lot of the habits that we have come from childhood. And I'll just say, like, a really fast way to, kind of get on top of some of those things, go into therapy. I mean, therapy's amazing. Sometimes it's just what you need to kind of help someone sort through all the stuff that's there that you never really thought about. I also think journaling is a really powerful thing to do. And then some of the other challenges people wrote to me about that I just wanted to touch on. One was getting rid of body fat or the menopause. Again, that's like a problem with an answer. And what's that answer? Eat less, move more. And if that answer doesn't work for you, then you have to go back and say, what's my mindset? Why do I think I can't lose this body fat? How do I feel about my menopause? Do I hate it? That's hating on a part of your body, and the self-talk and the energy that comes from that is very negative. So you need to accept. I say you need to. I'm making suggestions. Nobody has to do anything, but loving your body in the state that it is now, being grateful for all the things that it's done for you. That's a really big step. So in a way, we're picking at little problems out there somewhere and trying to find the path to solving that problem when it's not outside of you, it's inside of you, your mindset. If you get your mindset right and that you move beyond hating your belly fat and hating your menopause and saying it's because of menopause I can't lose weight, if you can move beyond that and just start moving. Move more, eat less. Basic formula. Put yourself in a slight calorie deficit. Don't worry about macros. Do what you can. Start walking. And don't watch the bathroom scale because it's going to discourage you. It takes time. It took my cousin 2 years to lose, a little more than 2 years, 50 pounds. And I say without even trying, but she did try. She made wise choices every day. I'm not going to have those nachos with the sour cream every night in front of Netflix like I have the last 5 years. Instead, she made low-calorie dips, and she took vegetables, just little things like that. Just really paying attention. And as she fed her body nourishing food, her body was willing to let go of the fat. And then she started lifting weights, and she started getting muscle. And that also began to burn the fat and use the food efficiently. So now she's in the States with her grandchildren and her sons. She wrote me and she said, I haven't been great. I'm out of my routine. I've been enjoying the food, but when I get home, I'll get back to what I was doing. That's the key. You don't stop everything in your life and go on this fitness fanatical journey that doesn't fit in your life. You have to enjoy your life at the same time, but it's a gradual body transformation. Mine was very gradual. I've said this many times. It took me 4 months in the beginning to lose 10 pounds. And then wine. Someone said that's their biggest fitness challenge, wine. All these little hearts are going up. Me, me, me. Alcohol, wine. So it's a personal choice if you want to drink. Of course, it's a personal choice. But they're empty calories. If you want to fit them into a macro, paradigm, they count as carbs. But it's liquid calories with no nutrients, and it elevates your cortisol levels, which we know is the fight or flight hormone that loves to hold on to fat, particularly in our waistline. So alcohol, once in a while, no biggie. But if it's every night, you're not going to see changes. You're not going to see, you can go to the gym 5 days a week, eat healthy, have a glass of wine every night. Sweetie, you're not going anywhere. You're not going to transform. So there is a way to enjoy those things. They're not forbidden. But if you feel like you're stuck, look at your wine and alcohol intake. Wine or alcohol intake. Empty calories. And even if you count them as a macro, a little 5-ounce glass of wine is 37 macros. Do you know of carb? You could have half a sweet potato for that, which would fill you up more, or a huge salad with all kinds of fresh vegetables on it. And, it just doesn't give you the satiety. It doesn't give you volume in your stomach. And then someone asked about soreness and what to do. First, I would check with your doctor to make sure you don't have rheumatoid arthritis or you don't have an autoimmune response to something in your body, or you have sprained something. If all of that's ruled out, soreness is going to be part of working out and getting your body working again. If it's really excruciating when you're working out, stop, don't continue. But you can take Epsom salt baths, and you can also drink something called Calm, which is a powder you can get at the grocery store. It's magnesium, and you put it in like a little warm water at night and drink it. That has a lemony taste, a little bit sweet, but no calories. And that relaxes your muscles and also helps with soreness. But I am not one to recommend any supplements or vitamins at all, because I know what I take, which is pretty basic: a multivitamin, fish oil, vitamin C, basic. And supplement, if you want to count protein powder as a supplement, I take that. But all the other stuff I don't, because I'm an organ transplant recipient. I take medication to suppress my immune system. It interacts with everything. And it's not regulated. The sports nutrition industry is not regulated. We don't know what they put in that stuff. I mean, BCAAs, who knows what those are? I mean, they're branched chain amino acids that have to do with protein, and creatine, I know it works for some people, and there are quality products out there, but I don't know what they are, and I don't use them, so I can't recommend them. That's sort of research someone would have to do on their own. Let's see. Also, the fear of getting sick was a fitness challenge. Someone said they were on some kind of dietary program and they got really sick, and just from the food and probably not eating nutritiously. And for me, I know keto works for some people. Some people do have a hard time digesting carbs. If that's you, look at the kind of carbs you're trying to digest. There's something called FODMAP, FODMAP. People with irritable bowel syndrome are on a FODMAP restricted diet. So there's certain vegetables and foods that break down in the small intestine and cause bloating and gas, and you feel horrible when you eat them. And I'm in that camp where I just have to watch corn and peas and watermelon and certain fruits. Does it mean it's bad for you? No, it's bad for me. But keto, some people do have a lot of problem with carbs, and the keto diet was actually something to treat epilepsy back in the day, and I think it still does. And also before insulin was invented for diabetics by doctors Banting and Best. They discovered or created the insulin hormone as a synthetic substitute if your pancreas didn't work. But back in the early 1900s, if you had diabetes, it was a wasting disease. You would just 2 years and you'd just waste away. Your body would feed on itself, and all you could eat was heavy meat, steaks, lots of fat, lots of protein. It was a keto diet, and it was the way to keep the blood sugar level. But I tried a keto diet, of course, because we've tried all diets, right? We've done every diet that's out there, the cabbage soup diet, the master cleanse, Weight Watchers, Haley Pomeroy, the pineapple diet. I mean, it goes on and on. The keto diet made me very sick. And part of the reason was I had weak kidneys at the time, and that kind of protein without a balance of carbohydrates, very hard on your kidneys. So whatever you're going to try, if you're going to try a nutrition plan, check with your doctor or a nutritionist or dietitian. You might have celiac disease. There's all kinds of things that we're getting now around food. Find out what your body needs and wants. And I will just make a disclaimer. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a dietitian. I know what works for me. I eat really healthy, clean, safe food in measured amounts, protein, carbs, and fats. I eat the right amounts at the right time for the right reason. And that's how I transformed. And it is a macro plan. Also, someone asked how to get started. That was a big challenge. A lot of women, I get that question so much, just one question. How do I start? I don't know where to start. How do I start? And if you want a mindset queen, I just found this woman. Her name is Shailene Johnson. She has a podcast called The Shailene Johnson Show. She started off, I think she might even been the founder of Beachbody Fitness. She's amazing. She's all about mindset. And I was listening to one of her podcasts the other day, and she said her pet peeve is people that say, I don't know where to start in terms of switching their mindset. And her whole attitude was, well, then go out and find out. She said, when people say, I don't know how to start, it means they're too afraid to start. They don't want to start. It's an excuse not to start. So I'm all about helping women start because I know fitness is incredibly nuanced. There's all these moving pieces, which is why it's so hard for me when someone says, what's your diet? What did you do? I can't put that in a sentence. I can't. In fact, I've written a book that's going to be published in a couple of months, finally, that will give you that answer because it is an entire book. I can't just say there's no simple answer. And you are unique. You have a different body than me. You have a different diet history. You have different genetics. You have different goals. And you have a different medical history. So if I tell you in a few sentences, this is what I did, this is what I eat, it won't mean anything to you. It just won't be helpful. To be helpful, I think working with a coach who gets to know you as a human being and care about you as a human being and talk to you on a regular basis, that's where you can find out how to do it. And it's really important, I think, to find mentors and find people to educate us. I'm a lifelong learner. I don't know everything. And if I don't know something when I'm coaching someone, I'll tell them and then I'll go find out, or I'll tell them where they can find out. But that how to get started is find your why. Find that fire inside of yourself. Because, as I said today on Instagram, and you guys really loved this, and it's true, I stopped waiting for the light at the end of the tunnel, and I lit that bitch up myself. And that's what you guys need to do. You need to light it up yourself and not wait. The universe isn't coming to rescue you. Nobody's coming to rescue you. Nobody cares about your health. Well, your family, I'm sure, does. People that love you. But nobody should care as much as you do. And that should be your goal. Then another person asked what my resources and protocol was when I started. And I just jumped in. I found an online challenge for people who were 40 plus. Lifting weights, easy on the joints. It's not an online challenge. It's available now, but it got me started. And one of the keys I feel to my success was being in a community of like-minded people in my age group. And it was both men and women. And it was just amazing to see these women older than me doing their thing and being healthy and being fit. And the challenge was 3 months. And I ended up winning the challenge. I didn't even know there would be a winner, but I was so dedicated. And then I stalled, I plateaued, and I realized I needed to up my game because at that point I was not doing macros, I was doing portion control. Portion control using my hand, palm, size, the protein, size of my palm, carbs, the size of my fist, vegetables, cupped hands, fat the size of my thumb. So it was more a visual portion control, and it wasn't enough. I had to up my game. So if you say to me, I'm going to the gym 5 days a week, I'm doing cardio, I'm walking every day, and I eat healthy, but I'm not seeing any results, you got to change it up. You got to light that bitch up. Excuse my French. The B word wasn't something we said in my house growing up. In fact, they never said it on TV. And every time we heard it, we were like, oh my God, I hope mom doesn't hear that. But anyway, yes, you've got to change your game. It cannot continue. You just keep doing the same thing and not get results. So what do? Okay, maybe you begin progressive overload in the gym. You start lifting heavier, and you're not going to get bulky. Lift heavier. Eat less. Don't drink alcohol. Get a good night's sleep every night, 8 hours at least. Hydrate your body. Lower your stress level. I know some of you are damn hard workers. I know you are. And if you don't have a job, you've been taking care of kids, aging parents, spouses. You work hard. And there's a certain point you have to say, is this worth it? Is this worth the stress it puts and the pressure it puts on me that I have no time to go to the gym? I have no time to work out even at home. I have no time to prep and plan my food. You've got to make trade-offs. You will not believe what a gift you give yourself by lowering your stress level. And I did that a couple of years ago when I started working out. I was university professor, and I went to my chair and I said, I don't want to do a full load every quarter. 4 classes, it was a lot. I just want to do 3. And he's like, fine. And I said, I don't want to teach in the summer. Fine. So yeah, I took a cut in pay. Was it worth it? Absolutely, it was worth it. Because I had so much more energy. I felt better. I could take care of myself. There's something totally badass about getting up in the morning and feeling excited about the day, feeling excited about going to the gym, and then putting on your clothes and thinking, God, this feels good. These aren't tight. My clothes aren't tight. And then as you lose body fat and gain muscle, the scale may not change, but your body's shrinking and getting tighter. And before that scale changes, you can go to your closet and go shopping. All those clothes you bought on sale because you thought, I'll fit into this one when I lose 10 pounds, right? I'll wear this. Did you ever lose that 10 pounds? Well, maybe you did, and then you went shopping in your closet. How many of us go and buy some amazing piece of clothing on sale, designer or whatever that, it was $300 and now it's $75, but it's 2 sizes too small, but I know I can fit into that after I lose 10 pounds. How many times have we done that? Yeah. So you don't know how good that feels when you get to go shopping in your closet. Try on those clothes you haven't, those tight jeans. There's nothing worse than not being able to zip your jeans. And there's nothing more wonderful than zipping your jeans and having some room in there. And that's about muscle gain and fat loss. It's not about how much you weigh. You might even weigh the same as you did, but everything's shrinking. So a pound of, let's say 10 pounds of fat is the size of a, cantaloupe. Let's say 5 pounds of fat, the size of a cantaloupe, distribute on your body. 5 pounds of muscle, maybe the size of a lemon. It takes up less space. When people say muscle, one pound of muscle is the same as 1 pound of fat, yeah, they're both a pound. That doesn't make any sense. The fat just takes up more volume and makes us look pudgy and puffy. Gives us all this upholstery. But muscle, when it's replaced by muscle, we tighten up, we shred, we lean out. And it just feels good. You feel so energetic and healthy. Main thing is you're healthy. And let's see, not enough sleep. Somebody was saying they couldn't get enough sleep and they knew it was an issue. It's not really something they could easily correct. Sleep is super important. Your body needs to repair and recover. If you're working out in the gym and you're lifting heavy, at night your body needs to rest and recover and do muscle and cell repair. That's how muscles grow. You injure the muscle fibers, they tear, it sounds terrible. And then when you rest and recover at night, they repair. And that's how you build muscle, and they swell. And the more muscle you have, the easier it is to burn fat. If you aren't getting enough sleep, that recovery period is compromised. And some of the, there's a lot of coaches on Instagram who I have a lot of respect for. They're science nerds. They're very, and some of them have advanced degrees, PhDs and what have you in exercise science. And they love reading the literature. The research says, I'm not that nerdy. I'm more like simple, down to earth. Let me understand this for my body. But research does show that a lack of sleep affects protein synthesis, meaning the protein that you eat to build muscle is not going to work so well. So what does it mean if that's a continual thing? Like you don't get enough sleep all the time or for extended period, you're not going to be building muscle efficiently and you're going to be tired. It's not good. So there's got to be a way to fix that. If you wake up in the morning and let's say, like last night, I'll tell you, I'm in Mexico. This is a very loud culture, a very joyous culture. There's always firecrackers and music. And last night, I don't know, it was Saturday night. There was some party that started at 8 and didn't end until this morning at 7 a.m. when the sun came up. I mean, who parties that hard these days? Maybe I did in my 20s, but it was loud and hollering and music. And luckily I got sleep. I don't, mindset again, I just tell myself I can do this. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to rest. But if I had maybe 4 hours sleep, and I plan on going to the gym the next day and I'm tired, what I might choose to do is a lighter workout. Maybe a lighter upper body workout, just so I get my body moving, but not a heavy leg day or anything like that. But if it's a continual lack of sleep, that's not good for your health. And let's see what else. That was about what I wanted to share or, talk about today, and to just thank all of you that follow me on Instagram. This started as a way to process my own transformation from, sickly child, almost dying in my 30s to, being a bodybuilder and an NPC competitor on stage, which I will do again next summer. I just needed to process all that, and I found that it could inspire other women. I'm getting a lot of weirdness on Instagram. There's some trolls that, not a lot, but once in a while a woman will say, "You're pathetic. You're in a bikini at 65." And, I've addressed that on Instagram and said, some people don't have boundaries, and I don't let that bother me. Yesterday, a woman, sent me an emoji of the vomiting, green face vomiting with the post that I had, my before and after, and said, I don't know what she said, but it wasn't kind. And I just went to her profile and I thought, who is this woman? And sometimes they're private profiles. They don't want you to know who they are. They're trolling people. They don't identify. But she had an open public profile. And I just kind of looked through some of her posts and found that she just survived breast cancer, that she's a trauma survivor. And I mean, she overshared on Instagram, but I got a snapshot of a woman who's hurting, and women that are hurting hurt others. And so I just felt compassion for her. I just thought she must be really unhappy. She's had a hard life. There's no point in me even doing anything but deleting and blocking her and wishing her well, which I didn't actually wish her well, but in my heart I did. So I am starting a community, which I'm going to tell you guys about in about 2 weeks, where we can meet as a community. I notice a lot of you comment on each other's comments. You get to know each other, talk to each other, support each other. And I will be there, and it's going to be amazing. And there are some other coaching offers that I'm going to announce. But I just feel like Instagram sometimes is not a safe place to share at the depth I would like to share, and show what I go through. It's not all unicorns and rainbows all the time, but I put I curate what I put on Instagram because it is public. But if we're in a private community of queenagers, honey, it'll be like sitting at the beach, drinking our coffee and just spilling it all. And I think that is the best way to make changes, is to be with other women in the same mindset, that support you, that tell you you can do it, they know you can do it, and that's how I feel about all of you. So it's going to be a more intimate setting with a really small subscription fee, like ridiculously, but I just feel like need to move it off, some of it off Instagram. Of course, I'll still be posting here, but to have a more intimate setting for women 50 plus, because we all struggle with the same things. And we need to support each other, and women from all over the world, we have this in common. And so anyway, more information coming on that in about 2 weeks. It'll be set up. My team is taking care of it now. And it's my love letter to all you queenagers on Instagram, and a way that I can, stay in touch with you and, offer coaching and just, it's going to be great. All right, you guys. So it's Sunday. I want you to go enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm not even sure how long it was, but this is my passion, my life purpose. It gives me joy every day to cheer you on and show you it can be done. You're not too old. It's never too late. You can do this. Believe it. It's all about mindset, period. It's all about mindset. All right, you guys. Cheers. Lots of love, lots of love.